When I was in first grade, we moved into town for a little while. And then we moved back out to the Eura. And at the Euro, there were 4 families that lived there. There were the Jack and Pauline White. There was Bob and Peggy McElroy, and Stan and Mary Jane Kuykendall, and then us. We all lived in trailers. And they had, we had all the electricity.
I was around 7. I was 16 when we moved there. There was me, and there was Jerry was up there, and Dell's one daughter, and there's about 4 or 5 families up there. My dad built 2 tents, and we lived. First one was the kitchen and living room, and the second was the bedroom. Us kids run wild because there was all that space and stuff, and we just went out hiking and looking for all kinds of animals and stuff, and kept us busy. We had some tents, and we had a few trailers, and the Mormon church donated material, and they built a school. I had some kids in one of the pictures that was building the outhouse. And for the summer, we had running water. But in the winter, they didn't put the line down far enough, and it froze, so we had to haul. And my mom had a washing machine outside, and she heated her water and a wringer type and washed outside. My mother just had one of those 2 old tin bathtubs, and she'd heat the water, and us kids that's where we get our baths. They heat the water for everything because they didn't have hot water heaters.
We were right there at the mine. We used the water from the mine to water our gardens.
At the end of the month, we didn't have a lot of money, so we all pooled what we had and made meals together. The kids didn't have television. We learned to play games. Kids say nowadays they're bored, but back then we had all kinds of games. We weren't bored.
It was very interesting. One time we're out playing, Xana almost sat on a bull snake, and
I like snakes.
I think about it as I was raising my kids, how much freedom we had at such a young age.
Yeah.
One time Pat and I were down. There was a older mine that was no longer being worked, and we were down there playing. That was one of our play areas, and we saw our moms going on a walk, and we wanted to go with them, and Pat took the road around. We were barefooted, and I went right across the cactus patch, and I got there first.
We caught tadpoles.
Oh, yeah. All the time. We had jars of tadpoles every spring.
And we just...
I was more the person that liked to climb trees and be outside. Well, we played kick the can, and hide and seek, and a few other ones that we did. Ring around the rosy, just little games that we played.
One of my best memories at this time is Curtis was very little, our little brother, and Mom and Dad had gotten him a used tricycle and some red paint. They were going to paint it. We got tired of waiting for them to paint it, so one day we decided to paint it.
And the sidewalk.
And the rocks.
And the side of the house.
And the outhouse. And we painted everything red. And then they had to scrub it all off of us. I remember the scrubbing, the red paint off.
And then years and years and years later, we went out to show my kids where it was at, and we found the seat to that tricycle with the red paint globbed on it.
and Louise Kuykendall and I one time made a lemonade stand. We had Kool-Aid lemonade. And there was this cutoff road down to our house, or the long way around, right? And we were up at the cutoff, and Mom kept hearing the Jake brakes because the truckers were stopping.
Because it was right on the...
We were on the hill.
On the hill, coming down.
And we were selling lemonade, and so Mom made us move it down on the flats.
When we lived out at the Lark Gate, the Indian ladies took us out and taught us how to find the cedar berries to make the cedar berry necklaces. And so that was one of my earliest memories, is going out and having them show us.
And then she stuck one up her nose.
I did. The doctor said it was a sign of high intelligence.